All right. We are live here on Facebook. So if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure to engage with us. We can see your comments and answer any questions you have along the way. And I want to welcome my good friend, Delisa Rose, to eXp Realty. Congratulations on making the move. It's been a long time coming. So this is going to be a fun conversation because I think everyone goes through this process, and I was actually talking about this yesterday with a few folks that, you see it like a year goes by and then you see it a lot more. And then all of a sudden you finally really look into it and you get serious about it. And then you can't stop thinking about it. And then you eventually join, right? Like that's been most everybody's process that's ever joined eXp, I think. So, and by the way, for those of you who can see my face, my cat attacked me last night. So this is not the most opportune time for me to be doing a Facebook Live. My cat's evil, and I was hiding. It was hiding from me, and I was just trying to pet it. And I was sneaking around the chair, and I snuck around the chair, and the cat was like, wah, 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 like 3 times, like way faster than I could respond. I was like, okay, this cat's got one up on me now. So anyway, I don't mess with it.
That was cute.
It was unbelievable. Like it was so fast. I didn't even blink. It was like, pop, pop, pop. I was like, all right, he's serious. I'm gonna stop messing with you. So anyways, everybody's wondering. That's what's up. Why my face looks all beat up. Yeah, so cool. So let's talk about let's talk about your story. First of all, you've been in real estate. How long you been in real estate? Kind of tell us your journey, kind of up to this point.
I've been in real estate for 20 years altogether. In Texas since 2003. So what does that make that? How many years is that? 16 years?
Yep.
Started off, first year in, first 4 months did $119,000. I made Rookie of the Year with Remax.
Nice.
Continued to do top producer throughout the whole journey. And then, of course, you work more, try to make more. You learn things the hard way. And then you try to figure out the rest of your life, how to get your life back. Because you can.
We got to unpack that, okay? Because we haven't really dove into this ever on any of these interviews. So, you say you said it like so nonchalant, like everybody knows, has gone through this, which I do believe most people have, but I don't know that they actually recognize it. Is you work, you said it. I can't remember how you exactly phrased it. You said you work real hard to be successful and to do what? Say it again.
You basically, real estate. You get paid really well if you're working hard, if you do what you're supposed to do. So you end up making money in real estate. You have this type of lifestyle. Then you make more money, and then you try to figure out how to work smarter, not harder, how to make more money and keep more money, but how to get your life back because you end up working and working and working. And the reality is you end up trying to find a way to make money in your sleep so you don't have to work until the day you die.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the success breeds more success, but as you have that first taste of success and you're being successful selling real estate, you want more. So you know what you had to do to get the success, so you do the same thing. You just work harder to get to the next level, and then you get to the next level, and it's all about how do I get my freedom, because there's a price tag with this that nobody told me about. And so, you try to unravel kind of like, how do I build around me the people and the leverage to get my weekends back and my evenings back, and, so where I can, do the things that what I love doing, the money allows me to do. Right. And so that's very much what I think most of us who've built very successful companies and teams and things have done. And that makes a whole lot of sense. So tell me, at Remax, you've won probably everywhere. You're Hall of Fame, Remax, you won Rookie of the Year. And so you've been at Remax for all of those years?
I've done probably every award there is, from your regular basic 100% to your lifetime achievement Hall of Fame recipient.
And so you're all 20 years were at Remax?
No, because as you're trying to figure out how to, live to or work to live, I probably did some of the stuff that everybody else did. I got my broker's license, said I'll be independent. I went to Keller Williams because they had this profit sharing, but profit is based on a split of profit, right? And right. If there's no profit, then there's no split.
They didn't really talk about that much though.
Went to brokerages that said, you know, they have this supportive system. Went to other brokerages that said, hey, we won't charge you because we don't give you any support. So I basically did everything. So I broker hopped and tried to figure out how to grow my business, how to make more, how to keep more, how to work less, how to one day prepare to retire, how to build a team. And I ended up basically purchasing a franchise as well.
Yeah, so you literally have done it all. So that's the only thing I didn't do was buy a franchise. So I tried everything else. And right. Yeah, you know, it's like, oh, okay, this is the best way to go. So yeah, so it's super interesting. We all you know, anybody who's and I hope anybody who's watched this that's successful, you know, is really paying attention, because we're always looking for that better way, right? Like that's, you know, that's the thing that, you know, I was never married to anything other, you know, my own ideas. I think sometimes I became more, you know, married to than anything. And your ego sometimes gets in the way, but like, you know, as entrepreneurs, we're always looking for that better way. Okay, if this is better, I'm going to go for it. And we learn something every time, right? Like, okay, well, that was good except for this, or that, you know, I like this except for I didn't see this part of it. So you gain all this experience as you go along, and you start to make better decisions ultimately over time. So yeah, so what's you know, where were you, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago in this journey? What was it you were looking for? What did you feel like had failed you as far as your current, you know, owning a Remax franchise? What was good about it? What, you know, what did, you know, not to say there's anything bad about it, but what's, you know, where were you in the struggle to try to find the right next move?
Well, the crazy part is that the crazy part is I was introduced to eXp about 3 years ago.
Right.
Wow. 3 years ago, I was looking to figure out how can I be more than just a realtor? There's so many other skills that I have. Do I want to go into management? Do I want to go into training? Do I want to travel around the world? I mean, I want to do it all, but there were so many other things. And I said, hey, and I just don't want to continue to just sell houses, you know, per se.
Right.
It's just sell houses. So I had actually announced that I was going to join eXp 3 years ago. And wow. Of course, whenever you say you're going to switch of companies, your broker is like, you know what, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do all of these things that they haven't been doing for all these years, right?
Yeah.
So you were like, roll out the red carpet, you have this option, you have that option, stay a little while longer, and it's going to be different than whatever it's been.
Right.
Fine.
And you're wondering, now if you're willing to do this now, why weren't you willing to do this all that time?
So I'm like, you know, they do care about me, right? You know,
right.
So I kind of stayed a little while longer and then said, you know, but there's that itch that this isn't working, because we're smart enough to know if you want something different, you have to do something different, you know? And so then they said, well, hey, buy a franchise. And I said, you know what? That's what we need to do. And I injected over 6 figures twice into it and purchased 2 franchises less than 3 years ago, with eXp in the back of my mind. Right. And the crazy part is that the person who sold me the franchise left and went to eXp. That's a dirty trick. That is.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You definitely want to buy it. You definitely want this. And see you later. I'm going to eXp.
and as a franchise owner, you have to recruit, but in order to make money. But the reality is that you're financially responsible for everything that you're not responsible for. You're financially responsible for somebody else's success that you can't make happen. And people are self-motivated, self-driven, self-determined, whatever it is, it's within themselves. You know, you can't make a realtor, 1099 realtor, do the work that they're supposed to do. But right. But what you end up doing as a broker or franchise owner is you pay for the space that they don't use. You pay for the computers for them to play on social media. You pay for the assistants, you know, to clean up their messed up transactions. You pay to remind them that their license is about to expire. You pay to train them and provide training that they don't attend or training that they don't listen to. You are financially responsible for providing all the tools and resources, but you can bring them to the water, but you can't make them drink. Right. But at the end of the day, it's on you. And then you're getting a small percentage of their small percentage. And in this day and age, with everything being more competitive, after it's all said and done, you're only making a couple of bucks a year on their production, even if they cap out. Even if they're very, very successful, you make a small percentage, and you give up your hours, you give up your time, you give up your life to be there for all of your agents. And if you have a small office, it's a small office, but if you have an office of 100 people, 20 to 40 of them are going to do good, but you have to deal with all 100 personalities.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. And it's no different than having a team, which our team's always kind of evolved into their own independent brokerages at some point. You're always paying, you always get to a point where you're paying somebody too much money, and that's when independent conversation always comes around. And it's usually between $35,000 to $50,000 if you're paying that much to somebody, that you got to really look at. Okay, this it's probably time to consider something else. But in that scenario is you're always recruiting, right? Like there's always this churn of agents. Your best agents are getting plucked by now. Today, it's Compass is trying to take them and buy them, and you've got every other company in town is trying to court them, and all these other 100%ers that are trying to come in and recruit your best people, which is just, it's deflating, because some of those people you probably helped go from brand new or a smaller number of transactions to becoming very successful, and you played a big role in that, and then here they are abandoning you, going somewhere else. And so there's this it's kind of deflating, and part of what I love about real estate, and I know you do too, is being able to help the people that actually do something and change their lives. And I also know you have a lot of things that you want to do in this world to be able to add more value and make a bigger impact in people's lives. And so, this conversation of, hey, moving to eXp isn't all about like, oh, look at all this extra money we're gonna make and revenue share and da 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 da. It's really like at the core of it, it's about building a better life so that you can give back and do the things that that really matter to you, right? Like that's really what this is about. This company's created a way for us to add value to others within the platform, and also be able to earn a passive residual income so that you can focus on doing whatever it is that you want to do, instead of feeling kind of trapped in a system where you're consistently having to be financially responsible for all these agents, and there's always this churn you're dealing with, and then you might even have to produce a little bit to make things stay afloat. Like it's just a challenge, right? Like that's that's the daily grind that at a certain point, 20 years in, I'm 21 years in, I was over that. Saying like, I'm over that. I want to make a difference. I want to be somewhere where I can add value and people appreciate it. And this just happened to be the best place for that to be. So what, how did this start? This 3 years in, so they make you a sweetheart deal. They must have put something in, stirred something. They sold you 2 franchises, right? And so, like, what is your, because and we won't talk about the ins and outs of your deal or whatever, but you decided at some point it was broken, and then what, right?
I mean, the reality is I was looking around and I said, is this what I want to do 10 years from now? And if it's not what I want to do 10 years from now, like this, should I continue investing in it this way? Also, am I creating something that somebody can buy and is going to want to buy? And to be honest, not even the franchise wanted to buy it back. So they'll sell me a new one, but they don't want to buy it back. But
that's a dead giveaway, right?
But anyway, and then I looked around and saw other brokers that were, 70 plus years old, 80 plus years old, that weren't in a position to retire. And I said, that I don't want that to be me. And eXp at the same time was continuously growing. The people that signed up 3 years ago were becoming really successful, and they were really happy with it. So the itch was there and it wouldn't go away. And I actually ended, my agreement 2.5 years early, because life is too short. Life is too short. The eXp, people say, why do you do it? And it's almost like, why not? I mean, it doesn't stop you from doing sales.
Right.
But it offers answers to everything that you want answers for. If somebody wants to expand their real estate business and go into training, if they want to expand and go into just broker agent attraction, if they want to focus on sales, if they want to focus on management and get into the management wing of helping eXp grow, if you want to buy stocks, if you want to have that residual, it allows the regular agent to do exactly what they do, period, plus some. So it's like, why not? Everybody's going to knock the new kid on the block, but sometimes the new kid has some new, better information to bring to the center. So. Yep.
Yeah, I every once in a while I'm in front of a group and I know because I've done it enough times that only maybe 5 out of 20 or something like that are going to join eXp. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering to myself, what are the stories that you're telling yourself if you're those other people? What could you possibly be saying to yourself about this company instead of being open-minded to really see that this is it's just a better way, period.
Right.
You're in one of a few places. You are either wildly successful in your business, and if so, you would be an icon agent. You would get the stock awards, most likely become icon and get the $16,000 that you would pay in back in stock in the company. Just so happens to be the fastest growing real estate company of all time. So that's probably not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. And these awards, you're getting from your company. So I got a few of them. So, hardware. This is my $100,000 award. I paid $100,000 for these. I got 4 of them. And Coldwell Banker, $100,000, top 10 in the world trophy. And it's heavy, it's nice, but it's not worth $100,000 I paid them.
Right.
You can go get those. You can go get those. Those awards and all that, or you could get awarded stock in a company that's publicly traded over the course of your career. Where would you? I mean, either. So if you're a producer, you are either thinking. Well, I don't know what you're thinking if you're not at eXp. To be honest, you're not thinking, because if you thought of the next 10 years, you would just be at eXp. It's that simple. That's just one element that you would get. That's not what you don't, just for selling real estate. You don't have to do anything different, right? You just do it at eXp. So for the producer, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, there's not a lot of things to come up with that it makes sense.
It's that oppositional defiance. It's the oppositional defiance where people are quick to say no before they say yes, but they're saying no makes absolutely no sense, because even like this, they could say, I don't want to pay this amount of money, well, you pay more than this amount of money just running the regular business. I can't tell you how much money it saved me in cutting, how much my overhead's been reduced. So I'm happy to pay this amount of money because I don't have to pay all these people and all this bricks and mortar and everything else that I had to do. And if somebody is paying this amount of money and complaining, that in reality, you're not making enough money. So if you're not making enough money where you think, to a point where you think this is a lot of money, then you need to do something to make more money.
That's exactly right. If you're focused on the 16,000, then that's your biggest problem, right? Your biggest problem is that you're focused on the 16,000 that you might pay in to, instead of focusing on the income you could be making. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to get you wealthy, right? Yeah. Like, if you're focused on that, you got to look at where am I trying to get to, and what's the best vehicle to get me there. And either I'm in a place where that's happening for me, and I see and if that's the case, then it would still only make sense for you to be at eXp, because then you would be in a situation to still be able to earn the stock. Yeah. So either you're on a trajectory and you're going to be successful, or you're stuck and you don't know what to do, and you're not making good decisions because you're not making any decisions. You're not growing, you're not moving forward, and you're not going to accomplish. You're going to be 80 years old, still selling real estate. You're going to die knocking on doors. That's not going to get you there. So,
and they're not thinking about the future, and they're not really being honest about the past. Because if they're thinking about the future, they would say, what can I do? What do I need to be doing different? Because I'm still working and I must be working for a reason, meaning I can't retire. Meaning that whatever I've done over the past 10, 15, 20 years isn't bringing me to a point where I can retire. And the one thing that really hit, just for me personally, I don't know if I want to stay in Texas or if I want to go to California, if I want to go to Florida, when I retire. Well, let me say this. I actually want to go to Costa Rica, to be honest. But
there you go. Yep.
But I know that I want to move around. My kids are about to, be out of school. And I said, in the regular real estate, the traditional system that we have, we're locked to this area. We're just locked to what broker we're with or what franchise we own locally. But this company allows you to do business absolutely everywhere. So I could be building and end up moving to New York. I could be building and end up moving to California. I'm not locked here.
Right.
So thinking about the future, they're just not thinking.
Let me add to that. And you don't have to pay any additional fees. You don't have to join any additional. Obviously, if you go to other areas and want to sell real estate, you would join an MLS, whatever the case may be. But as far as you don't have to pay an additional caps like you would in a franchise system. You'd have to go there. That's a different company owned by a different person. You're going to have to pay whatever fees are due there. But the eXp, you can do that globally. We're moving into multiple countries now. Yeah. And have that opportunity to easily make that move, and nothing would change as far as how you sell real estate.
Yeah, I also hear just talking about what people are thinking when they say no, and you often hear people say it's a pyramid scheme or it's a multi-level marketing, and I'm like, why be mad because it opened up another income stream for you? If you choose to tap into it, cool beans. But if you don't, you don't. But every single realtor has likely referred an agent to their brokerage, or they've sent a referral to someone else in another location. So imagine if you referred an agent to your broker and got paid every single time that transaction closed. Imagine if you referred a deal to another agent and got paid every single time that transaction closed up to a certain cap. It doesn't change what you're doing, but it just opened up an opportunity for you.
Right.
But you don't have to take it. You can still do what you want if that works. Or you can say every once in a while, hey, let me make an additional dollar off of this because I put in the work for it.
Right. Why? And it's an unfortunate comment that people make. It's an ignorant comment. And when I say ignorant, I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about you just don't know.
Don't know.
And when you don't, and it's financially irresponsible for you to say no to something and when you don't know what it is. And I'm okay with you starting with some people there's pros and cons to this process of I say yes until I have to say no because I'm open-minded to anything. That can get you into trouble if you don't say no soon enough. But that's been a good philosophy because I make a lot of mistakes, but I learn from it and I get up and move forward. But my momentum is always moving me forward. Versus if you want to say no first, that's fine, but go do the research, right? Like don't just say no and come up with your own reasons why you think you know what it is. You better be able to describe what you're saying no to. And everyone should do the research. I think all of us went through a phase, and I think most of the successful people do, where you evaluate and come to your own conclusion. You're not just taking someone's word for it. You shouldn't just join eXp because you're listening to us and what we're saying makes sense. You should do your damn research and come to your own conclusion. Use your own head to say, is this better for me or not? I think you should listen to, people on both sides of the fence. People are, some people may have things that they don't like about it. You should look at all those things and evaluate for yourself and make a decision. When it comes to, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to add, I think one thing that really surprised me about eXp, not to take up too much time, but you said you're open-minded. The people that have joined eXp are, risk takers, very smart, just phenomenal entrepreneurs. And I didn't expect to get into an organization and have the support from powerhouses, that are way beyond anything that was in my independent brokerage. You have multiple people that have closed over 500 transactions a year. You have multiple people that are making over $1 million a month. These people can teach systems just little pieces here and there of the knowledge, the wisdom, whether it's technology, whether it's training course, whether it's just running your life and time management, but on a high level. I did not expect to be in that culture. You know, that's something that I've never really experienced, period, where everybody up top is a boss. I mean, just truly a boss. They're not trying to figure it out. They really have done this for years and they have that experience. So to be in that type of organization is phenomenal. I mean, truly phenomenal. And the support, because now in real estate, you're always one person. You get your license, you go to class, then you come and you have to figure it out. If you're on a team, you're on a team, you know, or you're in an office, but you're always trying to figure it out. And you really don't have real support. That's why people leave brokerages, because they're trying to go to a broker that they think can have real support. Well, unfortunately, one broker cannot support all 600 people, you know. True. But to get in an organization where where your success helps everyone, now means that everyone is trying to help you be more successful. Not just the broker, but your upline, the next person's upline, and so on. And just to say this, and I know there was no decision whether or not I was going to go to eXp. No decision about it. It was just trying to figure out how to make that happen because, as you know, I was in a contract or whatnot. But that time that I was taking trying to figure out about eXp or how to get in, it allowed me the opportunity to interview different lines, you know, and your line is so powerful. I know other people that may or may not have great experiences with eXp, but it's all about, I think, the line that you join, and your line is phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that, but Michael, I mean, you get three, you know, all three, then everybody else. But you have people that are dealing with teaching the funnels and that IT stuff, sales, you know, and then the technology, and then just how to be successful. Your author, podcast. I mean, you guys are on a level where everybody wants to, you know, aspire to be, and you have the skills on paper, on Audible, on course downloadable, where it's not like you're just telling and talking. You have the evidence and the materials. And I don't know how you guys get the energy, but you guys are all doing something every day, training every day, materials every day. And that's a big deal to be able to say, hey, I'd like to do this. And somebody saying, when and where are we going to be there, you know, to support you? Hey, I want to do this. When and where are we going to be there to support you? And that's a big deal. So it's not just the company, which is great, no brainer, no matter where you go, join. Right. But, you know, the lines I think could you know, also have a lot to do with it. And I'm so happy to be under your line.
I appreciate that. And I feel fortunate to be with you. I think, you know, that anybody that's listening to this now, first of all, you should reach out to Delisa and you should ask questions. And anyone would benefit from having you as a sponsor, and, you know, the skills and the things that you've learned and the ways that you can help people solve problems and really get to where they're trying to go is it's a no-brainer, right? And also, you know, the business model in and of itself, and this is just, you know, trying to understand the principles behind why this is so special. You know, it's cool to have, you know, all of us in alignment and being able to reach out to us and have us help you in any way, shape, or form. That's pretty cool. And, you know, the fact that we were kind of built for this as a company that had built, you know, training and coaching and done all this stuff. I mean, that was, you know, fortuitous for us to run into this opportunity at the right time. You know, it's all good and great, but it is special when you have that kind of financial alignment and you're not having to come out of pocket, you know, for those, you know, those types of learnings and things of that nature. And for me, where I get my energy from is from these kinds of conversations. I mean, I'm freaking so lucky to be here at eXp and be able to be working with you as a business partner, because that would have probably never happened in any other scenario, right? It would have only happened if you would have paid me money. And I'm sure it would have been value exchanged and whatnot, but that's not the same as this, right? This is a different feeling when we're working together in a business that we're helping build together. Yeah, it's just fun. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fulfilling. I think, the talk about revenue share and all that kind of stuff is, it's definitely something, if you don't have any residual income, if you don't know what residual income is, that's why you don't have any. Okay. One, you can work till and earn a commission. You can sell 50 houses a month. And I did that. But guess what? On the first, I had to sell 50 more.
Right. So, unemployed after every closing.
Exactly right. And that's just one of those things that, at a certain point in your career, you start to look at, well, what are the best vehicles for me to get to freedom, right? And, whether or not you decide you're going to talk to people about eXp, you're going to talk to them about eXp because you're going to be so dadgum excited about the company once you join it that you can't stop talking about it anyway. So, but yeah, with our help, I think that's the other thing that a lot of people haven't really dug deep enough to ask questions around is, oh yeah, by the way, we did build some systems for agent attraction and we are going to help you with this. So like, that's, it's what we get joy out of. This company's been amazing. And, I'm looking forward to being your business partner and helping build a great organization underneath you at eXp and helping you accomplish your dreams. And I'm glad you're here local too. So I get to spend some time with you as well. What else would you say? What have we not talked about in terms of eXp that you feel like is important for people to hear?
Oh gosh. I mean, there's, you know what? If you are thinking about eXp, call and set an appointment, to have a conversation, with myself, Jay, Michael. Don't do the research on your own without really talking to someone who's successful and in it. That's almost like giving somebody a contract, or the inspection report or a listing agreement. If they've never seen it before and don't understand it, they may say something out of context and totally, you may kill yourself from joining a wonderful organization and you may miss out on an opportunity. So if you were thinking about it, don't self-diagnose, call, one of us, schedule an appointment. And if you've already talked to somebody and they didn't sell you on it, truly call somebody else because maybe they didn't give you the right information because there's no reason why an entrepreneur who's doing real estate wouldn't want to be with this company. It offers everything that everybody else offers plus something, unlimited. So if you're not here, you really just didn't get the right information.
That's true.
That's really what I'd say.
I love it. So what would be a good way for someone to reach out to you?
Oh, I'm a personable person. Feel free to give me a call, 972-907-0000. Honestly, I'm good for a phone call or email me, support@delisarose.com, support@delisarose. That's D as in David, ELISAROSE.com, support@delisarose.com.
Cool. So I put those the number and the email up on the screen, so anybody that's watching can jot that down and definitely reach out. I think we can help you wherever you're at, and would love to have the opportunity to have that conversation. And I think what I tell people anymore is it's financially irresponsible for you not to look into this at a very deep and take a very deep look, regardless of what your current constraint might be. And usually the constraints in your thinking, but you might have a real constraint in terms of, you own an independent or you have business partners or whatever the case may be. But if you're, if you're watching this and you're, there's a better way than what your current vehicle is, and you want to have a conversation about what it would look like to maybe try to make this happen, we're happy to help you navigate those waters.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the time today.
You got it. Love it. Hey, I can't wait to see you again, and have a great day today. And thank you guys all for watching.
Thank you guys. And of course,